Alright. It's gotten a lot cleaner. So we're going to rack it because if you get all the way down to the bottom, there's white stuff, which isn't apparent because of reflection. But there's certainly not a lot of bubbles happening. So let's see what happens when we decant. Opening it up. And pouring it. Ready, set. I'm going to try to do this smoothly. I know I'm adding a lot of water or air into the water. Oh well, can't be helped. Well, actually it can. And if I had a nice peristaltic pump. Okay. It's not quite half. It's not quite half for the fluid level, but there's a whole lot of foam. The bottles and the funnel have all been cleaned. I'm starting to see some pass-through on the sediment. That's why it's nicer to siphon, but go for it. I'm going to make a mess. Always make the mess. Okay? Done. Always have paper towels handy. Dumb. Okay. That was more mess than I had planned on making. I have been told when you're doing brewing, don't have a woman around because they squawk about that kind of thing. And rightly so, of course, because it's what they do. Yeah, that should have been a sponge, not a paper towel. It's a lot more fluid there than I had planned on. Well, okay. Let's push those back so we can see what's going on here. That's what we're leaving behind. It's pretty gross, okay? It's pretty heavy with the yeast. A lot of the yeast will be dead, and there's no problem with drinking the yeast. Same stuff you eat in bread, but it tastes a little bit funky. The other thing is if you're going to rack it, truly, you need to get rid of that nonsense. The longer you try to keep the fermentation product moving, the more careful you have to be. Now, if I was being super fastidious, I'd run some cleaner through this. As it is, I'm just running water through. Now we're going to reverse the procedure. And the yeast that I'm transferring back in, there's still some in solution. I'm not worried about it at all. You can see that there's a lot of foam coming up. A lot of that is carbon dioxide coming out of the fluid. Again, don't do this when the fastidious one is home. You'll hear about it. Every book on making beer says, make sure she's out of the house. And they're right. Making beers a little bit more intense, but not by much. And then you are trying to transfer stuff that's sugar water that's hot. So what could possibly go wrong? And it does. And then you have to clean up. Yeah. Okay. Now, the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, just regular old table sugar in there. What that will do is it will give the remaining yeast something to eat, but not very much. That will drive some carbon dioxide into the system. And I will let it go for at least another week. Okay? All right. Ah. And we'll have some bubbles tomorrow, but in the meantime, we get to clean up the mess.